Hi, it's Quinn, and today I'm going to talk about not thinking, aka meditating. So I'll start off by telling you a little bit about me. Um, so Basically, I don't think much. I know that I say that I think a lot, but it's a different sort of thing for me. There are usually not words in my head. I seriously just sit around, like, kind of completely empty minded until something comes up and out of me. If you were to ask me a question, I would just sit there until I had an answer and then allow the answer to come out of my mouth. Otherwise, it just doesn't work for me. I've always found myself really interested in kind of that question, like, what goes on in your head when your mouth is shut and you're not distracted by mindless activities? Do you think in words a lot, or are you sitting there empty as well? Through asking that question and getting answers, what I found is that some people, like me, exist in a more meditative state of mind where the thoughts aren't like words. It's just sort of feels like it's emptiness in there. And some people exist in a more analytical state of mind where there is often words and there's like kind of a tick, tick, ticking of logic going on in there. Neither is better or worse. It's just, are you a more natural meditator or a more natural analyzer? And it's good to know about yourself. And if you kind of figure out which end of that spectrum you end up on. But anyway, kind of this wordless mind, my mind, just means that I'm a more natural meditator. That's the way that I approach life. I just exist in a more meditative state. It's the only way that I know how to be creative. Any insight that I have, any wisdom that it seems like comes up and out of me, any interesting things that I say that are like unique to me come from this place of quiet in my mind, a space of silence, and not from a space of like the tick, tick, ticking of logic. And this isn't to say that I don't ever use logic and I never analyze things. Quite the contrary, I analyze the shit out of most things. Me talking to you right now came from a process of logic. However, the contents of what I'm talking about, this meditation and these states of mind, the knowledge there, that came from a meditative state of mind. So notice like the creativity comes from meditation, whereas the ability to express it to you in a logical way comes from analyzing. So both are necessary. I'm just saying meditation helps me get creative and helps me feel like I have sort of the answers. Even though I find that I'm more naturally in a meditative state, I still set aside time dedicated to meditation. And like, why do I do this? Well, what I find is my natural state succumbs to distractions. So I am not an enlightened person. I don't exist in the present moment 100% of the time. Even though my mind is naturally in a kind of empty state, it doesn't mean analysis doesn't happen when it doesn't need to. If I haven't sat down to meditate right now, like this is what I'm doing in this moment is meditating, then I find that I follow my reactions to some of the thoughts that come up. Even if it comes up from that place of emptiness, if I realize, oh goodness, there's something I need to be doing, I'll just go off and start doing it. So then the meditation is broken. Setting aside time to meditate helps me get like deeper and into the meditation, deeper into like, I don't know, this pit of creativity inside of me where I can really make even more space for good stuff to bubble up. Sort of like when you like really focus on a project and you really narrow in on it, you get it done and you get it done well. Whereas if you find that you're distracted and trying to do 5 things at once as they come up, all of those things end up being kind of like shitty or need to be redone. For me, these answers feel like they're bubbling up from within. That's just what it feels like to me. It might feel like they're coming down from above. It might feel like someone or something else is sending these things to you. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same. My experience of meditation feels like it's a wellspring within me. Yours might feel different if you decide to meditate or if you are already a meditator. This all sort of brings me finally to the whole point of this post, which is to describe in my words what is meditation. So I would say simply meditation is calming the fluctuations of the mind so that there aren't words in there, that there's just space in there. You can't force these thoughts to stop in your head. You can't be like, I'm not going to think right now and then not think. Because, inevitably I sit down to meditate and I immediately start thinking in words. And it becomes just this practice to ignore those words that go on, to not pay them too much mind and to just let them be until they finally slow down. Sometimes it's like I'm spending my entire meditation just chasing those thoughts around in my mind, trying to like come back to some point of stillness. And it never really happens. I never make the space for creativity. but I can say that it gets easier as you practice over time. Now I have like touchstone certain practices or tools that I use. A lot of yoga has taught me, but that I've just experienced through meditation that help me kind of immediately elicit that calmness in my mind. So anyway, I guess that's my experience with meditation. If this interests you, if you want to try and meditate, stay tuned. I will introduce you to different types of meditation, mindfulness meditation and concentration meditation, if you're interested in giving the practice a try. And really, you're doing it right. You're meditating if you're trying to calm the fluctuations of the mind. If you keep trying to over time, you're doing really well. And once you make it a habit, you won't need me to tell you anything. So thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.